And welcome back to a Foreign Friday. We're actually leaving the United States, Thomas.
We are
off to Sha Tin over in Hong Kong. A little bit of a difference between the immediate surroundings of Sha Tin and Kentucky Downs, I would say.
Slightly.
Slightly. From farmland to skyscrapers.
Very urban.
completely different. Well, the idea is to do the same thing. That's to try to find some winners at Sha Tin. We're going to cover 5 races today from races 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They're going to be, for certain, what I call insomnia racing in the middle of the night. I think the first race is starting with race 6 at 3:35 a.m. Eastern. As always, when the show is over, a little bit between now and the time. So when are they going to run? This always they're going to run tomorrow night before Sunday morning, right? Or is it tonight before tomorrow morning?
No, it's these races at Sha Tin are on Sunday.
So there's Saturday night to Sunday morning.
Yeah, they'll be run Saturday. Well, it'll be run Sunday a.m. on our time.
Mm-hmm. So while you're sleeping.
Well, maybe not.
Well, maybe you'll be up afterwards watching the Canelo Crawford fight, and you'll still be a little bit awake from all that adrenaline if that's what you're going to do Saturday night on Netflix, like millions and millions and millions of people will do. Again, we'll put them right there. I'll put them up there between today and tomorrow sometime. All our picks all together in one place. It'll be a race replay. We'll timestamp all of the information. As always, there's free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link in the description on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. If you have not done that, kindly head on over there, subscribe. If you're watching on X, make sure you retweet and share our content with your friends. I'm sure they'll appreciate Tom's 25-1 winners like you had last week, right, Thomas?
I'm going to cross my fingers.
You had a nice trifecta too, I think, with that 25-1 shot, no?
Yeah.
Man, what did that pay?
600 plus.
Nothing wrong with 600 plus in my view. Sometimes, when we do these races overseas and at Kentucky Downs, it feels like there's 600 plus horses in the race. Not so much here, but a couple of
Hong Kong never has small fields unless it's the international races, and then they may only have 7 horses.
Yeah, and here they have like 14 in most races. They're pretty full fields, but starting off in race number 6, it's the Tung Group of Hospitals Challenge Cup. The track is listed as good. I suspect it'll probably stay that way, Thomas. And on the Sha Tin track at 6 furlongs, this one will be on the turf, and they're going to go this way. Boom, 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 right? Yep. And come to the finish line right about here. So they run backwards, right?
Yes. Clockwise.
They run ass first.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an interesting way to run.
Yeah, it would be very interesting.
Yeah, we actually kind of funny, but anyway. So all right with that.
It's only for asses like us, you know.
Yeah, we put our ass first too, otherwise known as our face.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. So as far as your expectations on running style, I think it tends to emulate Europe a little bit more than here, but you do get your fair share of front runners that get to the front and stay there.
Yeah, or hold on for a piece of the pie, and that's important too, especially if you're playing the gimmicks, and there are a few to play.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I'm going to start with, all these horses that I picked have not won a race, but you can make that argument for most of the horses in this race.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with number 11. Lucky McQueen is my top choice. There was improvement in the race in July before the layoff. He won his barrier trial by over a length. And I think he'll be more forwardly placed today and should get the win. Post is desirable. Whereas number 2, Argento Ocean, closed strongly both its 2 starts. It did have issues in those races. It was 4th in its barrier trial. And coming into this race, and margin was a little more than ahead. The only negative with this one is it drew 12, and that's not the most ideal. That's why I won't put it on top. Number 1, a Sea Emerald, gonna be my final choice. Run 2 good races, hasn't won yet. 2 barrier trials coming in, and they were both on the all-weather, which I found interesting. And this is one that should be more forwardly placed, and he does get the best rating in this group. But it is what it is, and this is that kind of field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's pretty wide open too. I'm going to start with a little different one. Bunta Baby, that's the 6 horse. That one, if you look at the barrier trials, Thomas, he ran one on August the 29th in 109.4, and for this distance. And I feel like if he runs 109.4 in this race, I don't think anybody can keep up. Number 8, Groovy Feeling, that 60s and 70s horse, rerun its last race with that man right there, Zach Purton, and I think it would be pretty tough to beat that guy. And then we have a couple of other ones we agree on. Sea Emerald, just a little bit different order. That one you mentioned, raced twice, Tom, and either one of those races probably beats these horses at least 9 out of 10 times. And then Argento Ocean. That one, as you pointed out, Thomas, will be coming from off of the end, the backside of the race, and is only making his 3rd career start. So you may not have seen the best of Argento Ocean. Race number 2.
No predictor.
Predictor doesn't work, though.
No.
No predictor on Hong Kong races. I checked, to be honest with you. I was hopeful, but unfortunately, my hope was
dashed.
Immediately dashed. Yes, indeed, because I thought that would be so nice. So the second race is going to be 5 furlongs. It's the Mai Tung Handicap. 5 furlongs converted to meters. I'm really good at this, Thomas. Is 1,000 meters. So not quite sure where that's going to be. We're going to start back here.
Straightaway race.
Run straight down the track. I see it over here. So if they run straight down the track, it's just the fastest to the finish line, no?
I hope so.
It's usually the way that works. And with that, Thomas, who will be the fastest to the finish line in the Mai Tung Handicap?
I start with number 11, Likeness of Music. He won his only start by 2 lengths, came from the post 13. It was in a class 4 race. He moves up in class today. He's the lightweight in the race, and he gets that man, Zach. Number 6, the All Out. His last race would be kindly described as a mess. He was blocked 10th. Yeah, it was not a good effort. He's got 2 barrier trials on the all-weather, which were okay. He's also won Griffin races. He has 2 Griffin races that he's won, and he was the favorite in both those races. He's going to be more forwardly placed this time, I think, and a little better draw.
Mm-hmm.
I think the outside can be okay, depending on how the going is. And then finally, I'm going to end up with Colorful Night as my final choice. That's the number 8. It'd be a first start in Hong Kong. He's had 2 barrier trials. One was really interesting because he faced Lucky Sway's Knees and that horse ran second on last Sunday to Kaying Rising. Those are pretty good sprinters.
Mm-hmm.
He was back. He was 6th. He was back by about 4 lengths, but they flew. They went 57 and change, and that's quick for any 5 furlong race. And he can just come within a whisker of something like that. You got to think he's going to be right there.
Yeah, you would have to think he'll be right there. I think the horse that'll be right there at the beginning is the same one you do. Likeness of Music, as you pointed out, there's that man again, making its 2nd career start, and really, if it improves off its debut at all, I wrote in there I can't see anybody beating him if he improves, but the minute I wrote can't see anybody beating him, I just beat him, right? Guaranteed. So I changed it to could be hard to beat him. And then I'm going to go all the way to the other side of the screen here, and I'm going to go Fast Responder. This one's going to be coming from Off the Pace, Thomas. And if you could just return to the race it ran here at June the 8th, I think that one could upset folks. So just nip them at the wire. Number 2, Majestic Express, the next on my list. Either of his last 2 races at 5 furlongs would probably do. And then finally, number 6, the All Out. You pointed out the last one was a mess all about. The first two before that, though, would be very competitive for this group. So that's why I put the 6-horse in there, the All Out, as my final selection. Well, we got 3 races to go. The next one on our list of things to do is the Lok Wah Handicap, Thomas. Again, they're going to run 6 furlongs. That'll be 1,200 meters. They'll start back here, so pay attention to race number 6 to see how that one plays out. In terms of bias, if it's a front runner, it's a horse that comes from middle of the pack or all the way back to get a sense of the track bias. Tom, I know you have a bias, somebody you think will win, and what sort of running style will that one take?
I'm thinking it's going to come a little bit off the pace, and that's number 10, Jubilant Winner. He ran 6th in his last start, but was running better at the end than he was running at the beginning. And he's coming off 2 barrier trials. He ran second in both of them by 4 lengths, in one and by a nose in the other. Yeah, I think this is, he's got 10 tries to win since he had never won. I think today is the day.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Tour Billion Golfer. That's one for you.
Yes, indeed.
He's run twice, finished second twice. Both were close races. The most recent barrier trial was good. He won on that one. But he drew the outside in this one. So number 12. But again, he's got Zach up, which can't. And finally, 3 Good Fortune is going to be my final choice. In his only start, he went off at 99-1 and ran 4th. And he was 3 wide the entire race. You're not going to get 99-1 today.
Hopefully not 3 wide.
No, or Sunday, I should say. No way. Yeah, I mean, he maintained his position, so he's got the same post as he had last time, 10. He's going to have a little work to do, but I think you should not ignore this one.
I don't think you should ignore him either, Tom. I have him as my top choice. Great segue there, my friend. I'm a big believer, and I've seen this play out many, 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 many times in the thousands and thousands and thousands of races of the handicapped and watched. If the horse builds on its second race, where most of the time you get a lot of improvement, it's where the biggest improvement can come. Any second race improvement, that horse has a great chance to win, and unfortunately won't be at 99-1. Number 4, Hot Air Balloon. Another one that if it just ups its game a tiny bit off of its debut, could find itself in the winner's enclosure. We agree on the next horse.
13 is still a tough post to come out of.
Yeah, lucky number 13. Tour Billion Golfer. Well, Thomas, Zach Burton, if things go the way they look like they're going to go on paper, he could be in for a big night at Hong Kong. And then finally, I'm going to go to the other end of the spectrum. Blue Baron, the 12 horse. Even better post, Tom, 14. How you like that?
No,
but
ideal.
Yeah, ideal indeed. But I don't think he's going to win. So I think he's a Tom horse. He's a your horse. It's the kind of horse that's going to be coming from off the pace, taking horses late. So I don't think that outside post position really hurts him. Everybody takes off, tacks down to the rail, saves some ground, closes hard at the end, picks up a piece of the exotics. So win.
It's the old traffic issue.
In the money, yes. And that's what he's going to win now. Because anytime I call a horse a Tom horse, he ain't going to win. They win, and usually in secretariat style. 9 is wow, we're flying today. This one is the Tung Handicap. 6 furlongs again, so you're going to get a belly full of those. Thomas, again, 6 furlongs.
Yeah, but
this one is on the all-weather. Yes, I almost
little different.
Yes,
little different.
Still 1,200 meters, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start here. They got a little bit more room to run before that turn, come around the corner there and make their way home. And on the all-weather track, can you expect to see any differences in terms of the preferred running styles?
I generally like the ones that are a little closer to the pace.
Mm-hmm.
I think the closers are generally at a disadvantage. At least on the races I've been playing.
I think in this race too, and I'm not looking at my notes right now, but I'm pretty sure there's this everybody's a closer and there's one speed horse. Is that the one you got?
Well, the speed one on the bottom. Well, sort of at the bottom. We'll see. It's going to start with number 2, Gummy Gummy. I love that name. Tough race on the turf last time out, and tons of issues. This is a horse that's better on the all-weather. And his barrier trial was a winning effort on the all-weather. So that would suggest to me that, yeah, probably a turf they should stay away from. Number 1, Must Go, is taking a class drop rather significantly from Class 2 races. He's won at this level on the all-weather in the past. His record of 17 starts on the all-weather and 5 wins indicates, yeah, he knows his way around. And he does get top weight because of that class drop. So it's a penalty. And, he's going to have to close. So we'll see what he can do. Mm-hmm. Finally, number 9, Harold Wynn. It's going to be my final choice. Won his last start, but it was on the turf. He has only one start on the all-weather and ran 3rd. Last time was a wide trip, and I would call it a little bit of a trouble. His barrier trial was on the all-weather. He ran 3rd in that one, too, and it was in a quick time of 1:08 and change.
That's fast.
He was only 2 lengths behind that winning number. So he's running. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I figure 1 length equals 5 seconds. 2 lengths would be, what is that, 4/10 of a second? So
0.1 of a second.
1:08 and 4. Yeah. I should have checked my notes. It's the next race that has some lone speed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But number 3 is my first choice in here. Bundle. Do I have the race? Packing Bull. Yes. I was looking at number 4. Packing Bull. Solid barrier trial, and looking through the past 6 furlong races, has the fastest the fastest 6 furlong potential. Bundle of Charm, that was my next pick, so I just getting a touch ahead of myself. Last time out, this horse ran about a second faster than it did in the prior start. When I'm doing my handicapping here with Terry on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I reread through my notes after the fact. That's one of the most common notes I see. Ran faster last out. Why? The horse is improving. Pretty basic. Occam's razor. Number 5, I guess I'm just going to go number 6 after this, but I'm not. Dragon Air Force. This one's been in the all-weather track 8 times, finished in the money 6 of them, and does have a very good workout. One of its better workouts, prepping, getting ready for today, or barrier trial, as they call them there. Looking at that barrier trial, relative to some of its others, it's one of the betters, and another one of those notes I see commonly. Good workout between races. And then finally, number 8, Mojave Desert, my final choice. Has the ability, no question, to run a winning effort here, but rewind through the past performances, and the first up off of a layoff is not necessarily the best effort. I think the first one is really getting ready for the next one. So put Mojave Desert on your list of horses to watch in Hong Kong for the next time out, which means if I'm bad-mouthing him, he'll end up in the winning circle again, or closure. Thomas, we got one race to go for this 4 on Friday. Any sense of what next Friday will bring to bear?
Chester, Newbury, or Newmarket.
So go back to England.
Yep.
Yeah, so the race that we're going to look at now is the Fu Handicap. In this case, they're going to run 7 furlongs, which is roughly 1,400 meters, I think, Thomas.
That is correct.
They'll start right. Yeah, it's a good thing I got the Google converter on the other screen that you can't see. It makes it very easy for me. The cheat codes of 2025, right? The 1,400 meters, a little bit more runway before they get into the turn, Tom. Does that change your viewpoint on post positions at all?
No. The outside is, they really got to work hard to win from the outside.
And with that said, you're going to take the most outside horse, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to start with number 7, California Waves. And he drew 9, so he's outside, but not awful. His first start in Hong Kong was predictably poor. He had issues in running of that race. He finished 4th in his barrier trial, his prep here. I looked at his Australian races. They were all at Rose Hill. He won a maiden, and he won a benchmark 65 race, which would be not that far off from this type of race. I think he's going to improve. Number 9, Master of All. He's one of the speed horses. Ran second last time out at this level. He ran a barrier on the all-weather, which was interesting. He ran third in that one. He was a little behind by about 2 lengths plus. As you said, there's a lot of speed in the race before us. We did, but actually, this is the race, and I think he's in lone speed here.
Mm-hmm.
7 furlongs still is that weird distance, so we'll see.
That tweener.
Yeah, it really is tough.
Mm-hmm.
What do you play? Play a miler at 7, or do you play a stretching out 6 furlong?
You play a guy who runs a lot of speed and then fades right before the mile, and then he backs up to 7 furlongs, and all of a sudden he's a star. Or she.
And we'll finish with number 2, Superb Kid is my final choice. This is one that does come from far back. I ran 5th last time. He won the time before. He has shown some speed at times, but he's got to overcome the 10 post, and he may get a wide trip. So really, he's going to be running at the end based on that post position.
I'm going to go with Master of All, because when I was going through it, at first I had it rated 3rd. And then I went back and looked again. I said, wait a minute. Everybody's got like a 9, a 10, an 8 for their starting position coming out of the gates. And this one's got 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2. He's going to be up front. No one else is going to be out there. The jockey can handle the fractions, got that little ticker work in his head. Should do great. And you mentioned, how does he handle the distance? Well, he's run at it 12 times, in the money 10 of them. So 7 furlongs. Ain't going big deal. Number 1, Snowfield. I feel like I got a lot of number 1s today, Thomas. Snowfield coming off of
the highest rated top weight horses.
Well, it could be why. So Snowfield, anyway, is coming off a layoff, and this is one of those situations where he's cutting off some distance. And if you look at the 7 furlong times, he has the best 7 furlong time in the group. Number 3, Winning Gold. That is the concept today. Cut back to a distance that works for this horse. He's done it in winning style, 4 out of 10 races. He's run other distances 11 times and only managed to hit the tape first in 1 of those 11. So this is a horse for that 7 furlong tweener course. And then finally, we agree on Superb Kid. This one is going to be closing, Thomas. But, which one of the closers is going to get the trip is really the answer, I think, to picking the right closer. Because they could all be bunched up together, and then getting around traffic might be a difficult prospect, especially if you're trapped on the inside. So being on the outside, in this case, even though outside posts don't work necessarily, it could work to its advantage because it'll have everything in front of them and can take a good trip. That wraps it up for the week. This week, Thomas, you mentioned next week we'll go back to England. Of course, on Monday and Tuesday, Terry and I will do Parks. Not quite sure what we'll do for Wednesday and Thursday yet. Probably Churchill on one of those days, Belmont Aqueduct one of those days, and then back to Foreign Friday next week. I do think next week, Tom, too, is the Pennsylvania Derby. Is that right?
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah. So it'll be a wagering guide week as well. All those big races where Terry and I excel at Parks. So hopefully we can find some pretty good winners there for that big day of racing in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. That pretty much wraps it up for this week, Thomas, in under 30 minutes. So I think we did a great job. We 5 furlongers ourselves today. Any final thoughts from you?
As always with Sha Tin and Happy Valley, it's more of a Survivor series, I think, than it is anything else. Because sometimes anything can happen, and you're sitting there scratching your head going, what the heck?
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of races for me, unfortunately. Yeah, for sure. Again, this will be Insomnia Racing. That'll carry you from Saturday night to Sunday morning. Make sure you plan appropriately if you plan on going to work Monday morning. Otherwise, folks, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this weekend, we certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor. Every single thing you do until we get back together again ends up in the
winner's enclosure.
Yes, indeed. Make it a blessed weekend. We will see you on Monday.